How you all doing on this beautiful Saturday morning? Well, I want to say afternoon. It ain't morning. How y'all doing? It has been a long week for all of us. It
Yeah.
has been a wonderful day up here in the Chi. It's almost gonna be like 70 degrees. So
Okay.
we'll take our warm days however we can get it. Coming from all that snow and cold, we just ready to bust out into the warmth. How you doing, Lady Rachael?
I am doing good, sister, here in H Town. You know how we say it always go down from here to H to the Chi, y'all. We just bring it. We bring it. And I'm just happy to be on the BPG Inspirational Station, y'all. What my
The
sister
greatest
say,
radio
come
station that I
on.
may add. Don't sleep on
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I am great. I'm glad you guys, as she said, y'all could tune in on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in H Town. Sometimes we don't know what the weather gonna do. We just decide to say, hey, just dress. Yeah, we don't
Pretty
know.
much.
Rain.
Just get
Yeah.
up and just put some clothes on and just call it a day, okay?
Absolutely. That's about it. That's about it. So I'm excited,
So you
y'all.
guys, we both, as you can see, we both are excited for today's topic.
Mhm.
From brokenness to a butterfly. And we're actually, this time, we're not going to hear my testimony, but we're going to hear none other than our sister, Lady Rachael. She's going to
Hey.
talk about her brokenness and where she comes from to where God has her now. And it is such an honor and a privilege to receive this word that God had put on her heart to share with us. And I hope you guys are ready to hear
Yes.
and receive this word, however the Holy Spirit leads her and however the Holy Spirit fills you and gets you to hear the word that he's going to speak through her. So let's just get into it, just like that. We finna get into it.
Right. We
So
just with to get off
we
into it.
just finna get into it. We just finna
Yes.
get into it. We
That's
got a
it.
lot to cover, but let's get into it. So
Okay.
my question is to you, Lady Rachael, what is it in your life that caused you to be broken? And what caused you to be broken? What were your experiences, your childhood, all the way into where you are now? What are some of the things that you overcame?
Okay. I will say, speaking from the title, I'm just going back just a bit before I answer those questions. When I was speaking with my sister, you guys, about saying, okay, brokenness, born from brokenness, and the life of a butterfly. As far as my childhood, it was weird because when I was born, I remember my mother telling me, and I don't know what we were talking about and why, my birth mother rather, and she told me, when you were born, she said, I never seen a child so angry. So mind you, this is a child that has just entered into the world, just
Mm,
sucking air. She said, I can feel that you had anger and rage. So to
mm,
answer the question, what happened? When did it? From the womb. See, a lot of us think that brokenness just takes place on the outside, but
mm-hmm,
depending on the people, that's why I said born from brokenness, because it started when I went to go get my I had to get a copy of my birth certificate because I'm getting ready where God's gonna take me because I'm ready to fly. So I got to get ready, right? So I get the birth certificate and I'm sitting in the car and I'm hearing, you got to read it, and I want to read it then. So I heard, no, just wait. So I stopped, and when I opened it, it was weird because I looked at my parents' names. Both of them are no longer here. I looked at both of their names and my eyes settled on their age. Now they were both 20, though what I heard is what caused me to want to talk about this. And I heard
mm,
they were both so young, they had no idea what they were doing, right? And they were
mm,
both broken, looking for love. See, they were both broken. My
mm,
father was broken, pouring into a broken vessel. And what did that broken vessel do? Birth out broken children.
mm,
So see, for me, it came from that, and then my childhood, when I say broken, because being that my mother was broken, she didn't really know how to love me. She didn't really know how to love us. And if anybody think about it, because we were created out of love, we wonder why we always crave it. That's why, because we were born from love. We all come from the Father. Now, however he chooses to get you here, the vehicle and the vessel he chooses to get you here, you were still born from a place of love. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so growing up in the neighborhood, like many of us have been, you know, things going on, crime, all kinds of things like that. You know, as a child, you don't understand. You're reaching from this person who you believe is supposed to give you love. But there again, if this person is broken, they looking to be filled. How are they going to feel you?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I began to try to fill myself with, of course, the typical drugs, alcohol, sex. I remember because of certain things that, like I said, I knew it stemmed from the womb because when I was 9, I remember sitting in a windowsill and I remember hearing, just jump.
Mm-hmm.
You have no worth. Just jump. You know, look
Mm-hmm.
how you look. You know, look how you talk. Look how you walk. I mean, you know, who's going to miss you? And I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting in the windowsill and leaning over, you know, saying I might as well, you know, because nobody noticed me. Nobody recognizes me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So what's the point? You know, and I remember saying to myself when I was even 5 and 6, I can remember it, you know, feeling like, you know, God, why was I born? You know, I believe I felt that I always had felt that I was not born at the right time, that I was like, man, why was I born now? Why couldn't I have been born when people were a certain way? Because all of the things that I was seeing growing up in the neighborhood and
Mm-hmm.
just certain things in my home life, you know, when not too many people hugged or
True.
kissed or anything like that. They just, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I love you because you got clothes on your back, food in your belly, you got a roof over your head.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you know, so you was
You should
loved.
be happy. You should be grateful.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yes. So yeah, yeah, that
I,
was
I I I I feel you when you said, you know, no one saw you, no one from the way that you looked and all of that, and us both being chocolate girls,
mm-hmm,
we both share that experience because
mm-hmm.
let's be transparent about it. Being a chocolate girl in America, you're not the prize. You
Okay.
know, and that
Let the
still
word
reigns
say
to
it.
this day. It
Yes,
still reigns,
unfortunately, yeah.
and it hurts even now that me being a mother of a chocolate little princess and you being a mother of a chocolate princess, well, queen now, but she's still a
Yeah.
princess.
Yes, she is my princess. Yes.
She is your princess. And we both know that we don't want our daughters to experience those things that we experience, being
Mm-hmm.
called ugly because we're dark, because of way our face features are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want them to experience that. So it in a sense, the brokenness may have been something so ugly, but like you're gonna get into, of course, it's gonna be transparent to something good. But
Yeah.
also that part of feeling invisible. Like when I was younger, I was mute. I didn't talk. And
Hmm.
people thought I couldn't talk, or they thought I was like a special needs child, which there was nothing wrong with me. I just, because of some of the things I've seen and me not feeling like and being made fun of, because I got bullied a lot when I was younger. So that made me feel like the quieter I become, the more invisible I become. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be invisible. I wanted to be there, but invisible. So
Mm-hmm.
my sister, I feel you when you were like, why was I born? What's the point of even being here? I wonder if anybody would ever miss me. Those are some of the same thoughts
Mm-hmm.
that I've had at a
Mm-hmm.
younger age. And please don't dismiss your children by telling them as long as they got a roof over their head, food on their table and clothes on their back and a warm bed to lie on, that is just only enough to be grateful for. Yes, it
Absolutely.
matters, but that's just not all to a
Absolutely.
little kid. Little kids need
Absolutely.
to know that they are loved, that they are valued, and that their voice means something. So
Absolutely.
continue, sister. I just wanted to share
No,
that.
that's okay. You fine. And so um that spurs often to, because you are broken. Affirmation is so important with our children. I
Absolutely.
mean, but there again, that's why I think you have so many adults at times that maybe, if I can say, overcompensate or either they buy all of these things, whether it's the hair or the jewelry, or I got to get the money, I got to get the accolades, I got to get this, I got to get that. You know, not to say everybody, but some are doing it because it's something either that they don't even know that has been lacking. That is, you know, and again, we're not trying to rag on the parents or anybody, because you know, we all know that this is a journey and we all know that we're growing. But when I say born from brokenness, that's why it's so important for right now, especially to my unmarried, while you have the time to be by yourself. Allow God to mend those broken places. Now, we're not saying that it's not going to be issues that you're still going to have, but the more you allow him to mend those broken places, when you are united with that person, it's not a half and a half, like people say, my better half and things. And I know they just say that because that's what they say, but sometimes we say things not knowing, no, it's not your better half. You are a whole, complete person, a whole complete person, you know, but that takes time. And thinking of, okay, say if I had have not allowed God to really come in, and he's still doing the work in me, to come in and begin to visit those places of brokenness, then I'm saying I want to get married, and I'm bringing that in, you know, so I'm pouring into the person, the man that he has for me, and I'm pouring in from a broken state. I'm pouring in and giving out of a tainted filter. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And so that's not going to do him any good. And so going from when I say a place of brokenness and like a butterfly, as I was sharing with my sister, I have always, and maybe that's why I've always loved butterflies. I've always
me and you both.
They're just so beautiful, you know, because they're just beautiful. And the thing about it is when you watch the process, because they start off as something that's, you know, maybe that's why I connected with it. They start off as something that everybody don't like, a caterpillar. You know, a lot of people don't like insects.
You don't pay the caterpillar no attention. That's what it is.
Exactly.
I have never seen a caterpillar. I'm going to be honest. I've never seen, now I've seen a centipede, but I have never seen a caterpillar in person. I've always saw a butterfly. I always saw what it was after the process. Never paid attention. Yes, I've seen a centipede. Centipede and caterpillars, they look the same, but they're two different things.
Yes,
understand that. But yes, I've never seen a caterpillar. Never paid attention to a caterpillar. But when that butterfly just flaps his little wings, you be like, oh, look, it's a blue and black. You get excited about it. Yes. But yes, I'm sorry, sis. I just
that's okay. But and that's what we do. We look at the end result, but nobody pays attention to the caterpillar. Because to the caterpillar, you know, it don't have no worth. Look at you, you crawling on the ground, so you low. You know, you have no worth. In your process to getting where you're going, you ought to pray and hope that you make it to where you're going if someone don't step on you or disregard you. You know, not knowing the worth in that butterfly, that one day that caterpillar is going to be something that everybody loves to look at, that everybody sees like, wow. And many of us want to just notice the butterfly because guess what? That's the end result of the thing. Nobody wants to pay attention to the caterpillar because, hey, he moving slow, he taking all day. The process seemed like it is too long. Lord, when am I going to be a butterfly? How long do I have to crawl? Then not only do I have to crawl, Lord, but then I got to be in this cocoon where I am in here struggling to fight. I'm dealing with all of this craziness in my head, you know, going through all of these things that I'm going through, the situation, the circumstance, my childhood, my background, all this other kind of stuff. You said that I was going to be this beautiful butterfly, but from what I'm looking at, this is uncomfortable and I don't see nothing in me that looks like a butterfly. See, we looking at the here and the now, and we don't see what God sees. God sees the butterfly, but we're just looking at the caterpillar, not knowing that, and it's a scripture that I wanted to share when it says about letting faith work patience, because as faith works the patience, what it does is when you go through a situation and your faith is tested, and it causes you to have patience because you remember when I was in this certain situation, God brought me through. So it teaches you, when it says faith works the patience, it teaches you how to have the patience, how to wait. Even though maybe I waited 5 days the last time, and now it's 5 years this time, but you remember that your faith brought you through that situation, so it's going to bring you through this situation. And as it says, I wanna like, well, I'm gonna pull it back, but when it says let it work, let it have its let faith work, it's patience, and when it works the patience, it produces to where you get to the end, it says lacking nothing. And so when you think about the butterfly, when he goes through that process of the cocoon inside with insecurities, fears, anxieties, and all of these things locked away. But then soon as God begins to work on you in that caterpillar state, and as he begins to strengthen you, because in the cocoon, it says that when a butterfly is going through and he's in the cocoon and he's fighting and he's struggling, what is happening is there is something that's being released into the wings. So when the butterfly breaks out, because he has been strengthened. So what am I saying? That many times that we are in a state of brokenness and we're like, I don't like my life. It seems like we never have this, we never have that. It seems like nobody's paid attention to me. Nobody's loved on me. It seems like all I've suffered was abuse, most of my life, half of my life. But as we allow God to strengthen us in that place, when he does what? Breaks us free, gives us the strength to break free. Now when somebody come at you, little chocolate girl, and they talk about you being a little chocolate girl, because now you have learned in that cocoon state, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am his workmanship. I am a new creature in Christ. Look, behold, the old thing had passed. Behold, the new has come. Nobody can shake you now, because the faith has come to strengthen you. And now you are that butterfly that no matter what anybody says, you know that you are beautiful, because you are accepted in the beloved. So that's part of the thing of going from the brokenness, going to the life of a butterfly, that of course nobody likes the process. I didn't like the process of going through the abuse, being laughed at, being rejected, not saying or hearing a lot, you're beautiful, you're wanted, you're desired, and not so much in a sexual manner, but just desired, even just somebody desire to be your friend. You know what I mean? And so when you go through those things, and if again, you don't allow God to wrap you in a type of a cocoon and go through that process to allow him to heal you, to strengthen you. So when he does set you free, you notice when a butterfly comes out of there, unlike a baby bird, they don't go down and go back up. They shoot straight out of that cocoon, because God wants to have you in a state when you're coming through that brokenness, that you will be strengthened to the point that when he say, baby girl, it's time to fly, them butterflies fly, and they don't look back at that cocoon. They don't look back at that brokenness. They don't look back at that rejection. They don't look back at who didn't like me and who didn't want me. They shoot straight up.
Absolutely.
And they keep going. So
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And to piggyback off of when you were talking about being single and coming from brokenness and what to do with that brokenness, that's the perfect time, because I don't want anyone to think, because a lot of people think this, oh, if I get into a relationship, he's going to save me. She's going to save me. They're going to help me. Don't get me wrong. That is a point of a marriage. But what point are you already starting to heal yourself? Because you don't want to put all this stress and this worrisome on this partner, or these, as I'm learning through in my counseling class, you don't want to have that expectation, and then you get mad because they don't meet that expectation. But you cannot put an unrealistic expectation on someone that they don't even know that you're expecting them and they didn't even sign up for.
Absolutely.
So you have to start healing yourself from all your trauma. And now it's going to take steps. And yes, like I said, they're going to be there to help along the way. That's the point of a helpmate. But putting all of that off on them. Or, I met a few people, women who be like, I just want a partner to save me. That man is not going to come in and save you. That's what you have Jesus Christ for. That's our savior right there. He came a long time ago, sister, to save you. So
a long time ago.
A long time ago, he came to save you.
Yes.
The question is, are you going to allow him to come in? That's it. That's all. But we have to start going to seek counsel. Counsel does not mean you're crazy. I wish that we get that out of our heads in the Black community and understand that mental illnesses does not just affect other ethnicities. It affects us, people of color, us African Americans. It affects us a lot, which is why our teens are going the way that they're going, because they are going
us
through.
As believers. We still need to have counsel.
We need to have counsel. There is nothing wrong to go sit on the couch and get somebody to help you with some tools to help put your life back together, to put you back on the right track. And notice I said tools. They cannot fix you. They can only give you tools. It is up to you to pick up those tools and start applying them to your life. No, it's not going to fall off like magic, but if you keep going and you keep having faith and you keep being honest and open with yourself, with God, and that person, that counselor, that therapist, that psychologist that God has sent you to and sent into your life, you will start to see the change. And then you will start to see that things that used to affect you don't affect you. And you will start going and chipping away. God is going to start chipping away until you become this masterpiece. Because know that God is the main sculpture. Just because you are a walking and breathing creature does not mean he's done sculpting you. He is not done sculpting you. He's just begun. Believe that and know that wholeheartedly. And to hear your brokenness, and to hear how much we are alike. Your testimony does not just ring from yours, but mine as well, and others.
Definitely.
I just want everyone to see how connected we really, really, really are.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell us, what were some steps that you did in your life that brought you to say that I need help and I need more than just myself?
And the crazy part about that is, you guys, that when I say it was recent, meaning that it's been not even 10 years. So to me, that's recent. Because I was in a relationship and I had just come to it's just like, like when people say you get an epiphany, and I had just gotten tired of performing. I had just got tired of trying to be with a man that no matter what I did, if I turned 1,000 flip-flops and split it here and there, it was nothing that pleased the person. And I remember sitting down on the edge of the bed and I just cried out. So to me, what I'm saying, one tool is you're going to have to get tired of being sick and tired, of being sick and tired, of being so sick and tired, of being so sick and tired. You're going to have to get to the end of yourself. That, to me, that's one step. You got to begin to look in yourself and say, you know what? I'm tired of this. See, because people can pray for you, pray with you, tell you, minister you, encourage you, exhort you. But until you get it in you that, you know what? I am tired of living like this. I'm tired. Pretty much example, like the prodigal son. You have to come to yourself. He was out and he was about to eat slop with the pigs and he just snapped. What am I doing? I don't have to live like this. You have to come to the end of yourself and say, why am I keep laying in bed to bed to bed? And God says that I'm a jewel, I'm a dime, I'm valued, I'm precious, I'm a prize. And so I sat on the edge of that bed and I got real with him. That's another thing, people, you got to get real with the Lord. He already knows, but he just wants you to get real with yourself. And I sat and I told him, one, I said, hey, I got an issue. I know this dude ain't no good for me. I know this. Though, if you don't come in and step in and take this from me, I'm going to continue. Now, there again, God, I know that you are holy and you say you desire for me to be holy. Though right now, I'm telling you, I have this problem. Like when she said, you go sit on the couch, you say, I know whatever, but look, I got a problem. First thing, we must acknowledge that I need some help. That's another thing. If you don't acknowledge and believe that you need help, then you're going to keep on living like you're living. You got to know that I need help. I need a savior. If somebody don't come in and do this, then I'm gonna keep on this same road of destruction unless I get somewhere and say, you know what? I can't keep doing this. And I cried out to him. That's the part of the cocoon. When you in there and you begin to cry out, you begin to cry out. And sometimes you don't cry out in words. And thank God he's so good. Because many of us don't even know to cry out of our mouth, but he see your heart. And he see this person, I see them in your heart. I thank God that he sees the heart, because had it not, I know I wouldn't even be sitting here talking right now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. When you cry, when you know you need something more than God, you know you in the perfect place. Don't look at it as weak. People look at that, man, I need help. They look at it as a weakness. I look at it as a strength. I think you're weak when you don't ask. I think you're weak when you want to admit you have a problem. I think you're weak when you allow all your emotions to control you instead of saying, I need to do better. I do need to change. There are some people who I used to know, they'll be like, I ain't ever change. That's sad. Yeah. Because that means you're saying you think you're perfect just the way you are. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. The problem is everyone else. That's a problem. Yeah. That's sad. Yeah. And you're weak for thinking that. But will I still love you? Yes. Now, will I take you to prayer? Yes, I will, because only God can change a person. Only God can change a person. But those who say, I need help, I need a little bit more, and admitting that they have issues and problems and addictions and all of that, I love y'all so much. Y'all are the true heroes of this Christian thing, because that's what it's like. You're not dependent on yourself. See, being what did our brother say? Brother Sean Oliver, I'm a prayer away. Please believe me, a prayer away of slipping back into darkness. If I don't keep myself in that scripture that I was saying, you guys, it's James 1:3, where it says, but let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. See, when we are complete, now that don't mean you perfect per se, but you are perfect in Christ Jesus. But when you've allowed him to heal and mend those broken places, you lack nothing, meaning no one can come along and bamboozle you, pretty much, because he has completed you, so you won't fall for, as they say, the banana in the tailpipe, the okie doke. You won't fall for the counterfeit, because he has begun to complete you. Because you're not needy, you're not clingy. He has filled you, he has healed you. So you don't need a Captain Saver. You know what I mean? Because you know that Christ has already saved you. And you know that everything you need is in Jesus Christ. Everything, he's not just your provider, he's your very provision of life, health, strength, the very next heartbeat, the very next breath you have, he's everything. And the husband or the wife that he gives you, the children that he gives you, those are just rewards. Yeah. Those are, and it's really to complement you, not to replace who God is in your life. So I would say to what I had to do, I had to acknowledge that I had a problem. Just like when you go to a doctor, people, in the natural. If you go to the doctor and he's trying to help you, but you don't believe that you're sick, he can't help you. So we have to get to the point to believe, hey, I'm broken, God. I'm broken. His word says that he is near to those who are brokenhearted and who have a contrite spirit. He won't despise you. He's close to you. That's the closest he is to you when you're in that broken state, because you're desperate. Most of us are anyway, And so when we allow ourselves to acknowledge that God, hey, that's why the sinner's prayer. I look at it like this,
by grace.
I look at it like this. This is how I look at Christian life. I look at it how a meth head wants to get off addiction, right? Mm-hmm. Meth is a strong drug, right? Mm-hmm. And this world, that's what I hear. This world is a strong drug. The hold that it has on some of our people, some people never recover. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes we just lose the battle. But God is still gonna win the war. Understand that?
Oh, absolutely. But, it's already won.
Hello. But meth is a strong drug, I heard, and it's hard to get up off of, right? So when a meth wants to get off drugs, they don't rely on themselves to get themselves off, because they know they can't do it. They know it's going to take something a lot more serious. They're going to need that extra help. So what they do, they go check into a rehab center that deals with meth addicts, right? Mm-hmm. Now, these people specialize in this. So Jesus and his angels, right, that he sends and the people he sends
God
to our life.
specialized.
Come on now,
Yes,
follow where
yes.
I'm going.
Yeah.
He sends those people, they specialize in the area that we trying to get our addiction from this world, right? So these people specialize. Every angel, every human being walking this earth, it's called gifts, right? So he done gave everybody gifts. So these people with this gift, they specialize in this type of addiction that you need help with, right? In this case, this level that you at, they specialize on that level. This is their gift working, right? So this is what the meths go to the hospital for, because these people, they specialize in this area, in this particular area to get help. So what do? They give them something else that's slightly stronger, but not stronger, to help wean them off. So what does God do? He sends the Holy Spirit to get us and wing us off of this world.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
I'm feeling what you're saying.
So understand that when we say that you need help and admitting you need help, that is the most strongest thing and the best position that you can be in, because God gave people and he sends his Holy Spirit and his people and his angels concerning you to help you. These are their gifts. This is the Holy Spirit at work. It's massaging every angle of your life. And every time you hit a bump, every time you hit a chisel, every time he chisel away, oh, this needs to be firm a little bit more. So let me send my angels. Let me send my gift. Let me find them people who specialize in this to help mold this and shape this so that I can just chip away at it and I won't crack it or break what I created. So God, every time you hit a brokenness or something that arises, that comes up, which is a brokenness, it arises, God sends more people because you're now on a different level. So you don't need that no more. So let me send some help to help you on that level. God says, so stop getting attached as well. Let's stop getting attached to the people when he's already trying to wean you off another addiction. Don't let people be your other addiction, because people be so needy and needing everybody else that you forget the needer is Jesus Christ. He didn't send them for you to get needy and attached to them. He sent them to help you.
Yeah.
But understand what I was saying. I'm
grateful for that.
That just admitting your faults, admitting your help, to ownership. When you own it, God says, I could do so much with that. Now I can pick it up. I can pick you back up. Now you are starting to welcome me, because he only comes when you welcome him. He waiting on the invitation for you to welcome him. He ain't gonna be bombarding you like them crackheads or them drug dealers and everybody else. Man, he ain't gonna do that. He just sitting in the cut. He chilling. He waiting on you to walk over to him and be like, I open my door to you, and he gonna walk right in. He ain't gonna be bamming on your door like the po-pos or coming in like the feds and try to ransack your crib. No, he said when you invite me on over.
He's a gentleman, you guys. He's a gentleman.
Yes, he's such a gentleman.
He is a gentleman.
Baby, you know when you found the man of your dreams, he gonna be so gentle with you. He just gonna be, he gonna exude God. You gonna be like,
and all your mess.
Because that's how God is. He's so gentleman. He's so gentle with you. He make you feel all lively and stuff. But yes, for y'all who know, y'all know what I'm talking about. He just make you feel so lively. That joy.
That lovely, lively. Yes. And piggyback on what my sister said, that God will send people because he knows that we can't do it by ourselves. And what I'm saying is, when I got to the age of 13, at this time, my father and my birth mother, they, separated. He, was in a relationship, but he was coming out of that. Because see, that's what I say, when you're broken, you hopping, because he was searching for the mother that he lost. So he was always searching for that in a woman who could nurture him and mother him. So then here comes my mother now. Her and my baby girl have the same name, Dina. And, she began to sow seeds. She was my very first spiritual mother, and being my mother, and sowed seeds into me. And, I was a girl, rebellious, just full of hate, full of anger. When I say y'all, I was hateful. I was full of it. I was full of hate. And that's very crazy to say, but it brought me joy.
We all been there.
it brought me joy. If I saw a man, because men did things to me, you know, when I was defenseless, if I can say, that when I saw bad things happen to men, I was like, yes, I was happy. It gave me, girl, I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all gonna say she's sick, but hey, it gave me such a rush. It was like a high.
Wow.
We should not be happy when someone else is going through, no matter what the person has done. But that was because of the hate. I mean, I had hate. And then I remember my father saying to me one time, he said, you know, he told me, he said, you need to pray. He said, because you have so much hate in your heart. He said, I could see if you were like, I could see you being like a serial killer. I mean, this is a parent saying this to their child. And I'm not ragging on my father. He's no longer here. But I mean, he was just saying, because you just so full of evil. You know, and I'm just like, but see, and you're wondering, how can a person be, you know, born from brokenness? That's why it's so important, people, when we are broken, that it's okay. Allow God to heal you. Take the time, because I'm telling you, you full of this anger and this rage. Please believe me, when you carry that unborn child, that child now has some of that anger and that rage. And you're birthing that child, and they're going to go on and birth another child, and the cycle continues. That's why the title, Born from Brokenness. I mean, of course, you know, there again, God knows what he's doing. He's sovereign. He allows things, and maybe that was not the perfect way that you would have allowed yourself to be born, or into the family that he allowed yourself to be born. Because I'm telling you, on each side of my family, mother and father, you had pimp hoes, hustlers, drug heads, gay, straight, bi, tri, on both sides. I was like, God, I mean, you ain't got one side better than the other. Both of them are literally dealing with mental issues, depression, both sides. I'm like, there's no win. There's no win, God. You know, so I guess it's meant for me to be a caterpillar. It's meant for me to think with a poverty mentality. I can never be rich. I can never be an entrepreneur. I can never have. I'm a lowly caterpillar.
Or be a married woman. What man gonna find me attractive?
Hello, somebody. I done been used and abused and gave it away and tried to reheat it, and
having
it still was cold.
Different baby daddies, different baby mamas. What woman gonna find honor in me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, you know, people, like you say, he sent people that they sow seeds into you by speaking over you, speaking into you. And then, of course, yes, as time goes on, you will begin to see the transformation. And as I shared that, when it said about people look at and think that, oh, the butterfly, the caterpillar, or whatever, and now, you know, he's the butterfly, and the transition process is easy. It is not. To go through a metamorphosis, it's not easy. Just like she said, think of someone that's addicted to meth. You think the transformation from being a meth head to now being drug-free is a pretty picture? I think not. So we got to know that we want the butterfly process, but we got to know, hey, you got to go through that caterpillar process. You're going to go through some periods of brokenness. You're going to go through some things that feel very uncomfortable, that do not feel or even look good. But in the end, it's also worth it. So like she was saying, what are some steps? The first step is for me is that I had to acknowledge, girl, you messed up. You need some help. And God, because he's full of grace and mercy, he will help you. When we think that we lie, he'll say, let me show you something. I'm gonna allow a situation to come, and I'm gonna show you really who you are, even though you thought who you were, but he's gonna show you this is really who you are. And it's not to shame you, it is to break you, because the more he breaks you, the better he can put you back together. Because each time you grow, just like if anybody that, when they say pruning, when a flower begins to grow, you got to cut out stuff. Pruning don't feel good. That means you're cutting stuff away, as she said, that no longer is needed, whether it's friends, whether it's that job, or whatever it is. You're gonna, as you grow, he's going to cut more things off. So the process that I'm getting to, because I have not arrived. I may see, hey, you know, because I'm telling you, if I show y'all some pictures, because I showed a picture of how I used to dress and how I was and everything and this and that to some people, and they was like, that's you? I mean, looking at that person and looking at me and just everything, they're like, I mean, I can see, but baby, you was out there. You did look like you was a woman of the night. You know what I mean? And so that's why when you say, and I tell some people that, and they say, you know, I can't see that. That is the transformation from
Absolutely.
brokenness to the butterfly. That God will take you and heal you and make you and mold you, and you will be beautiful. When he releases you, they will see the beauty from the ashes. We did a show like that, you guys, with our sister Carolyn Ray Owners, and you'll see the beauty, and there is purpose in your pain. And then you begin to say, well, God, why did I go through all of this? Because you will be the one that he will send to go to that person. As you say, well, said, well, he sends people who have gifts. Well, now he has given you this because he's allowed all of this to work in you, and so you lack nothing. So now you can go and encourage, you can go and lay hands and heal, you can go and build somebody up, you know, where you work, because you can relate. Like she said, they specialize. These meth addicts, you know, go to places of the people who probably were on meth themselves, and they can specialize. That's why when you have a lot of the people that are behind the pulpit or in the pulpit, they were once a pimp, a hoe, and a hustler. Okay, so that's how they can specialize and they can reach, because they've been where you were. They've been where you were. They know what it's like to be rejected. They know what it's like to have addictions to where they don't feel like they can ever shake. They know what it's like to have been in prison, okay, locked away, and people not coming to see about them, not checking on them, not caring about them, looking like, hey, you know what, he gonna always be a thug, and ain't nothing else. He gonna always be that. He's gonna always be, you know, a cheater. She's gonna always be a hooker. She ain't gonna never find, like she said, a husband, because she got about 4, 5, 6 baby daddies. So ain't nobody gonna want that. But God is a restorer. If we give it to him, if we allow and don't just lock ourselves away in that cocoon, in our insecurities, in our fears, in our anxieties, in our rejection, in our bitterness, but we allow ourselves to be open. And like she said, we admit, got a problem. Somebody help me. Because God will help you, though he waits for us to invite him in. And when we invite him in, then like she said, because he still knows they're gonna need some help. So I'm gonna leave you with a little something. The Holy Spirit, who reminds you of who you are, who reminds you of what the word says about you, when you, even though you're looking like a butterfly, but you're feeling like a caterpillar. Or when the world comes to try to say, remember when you used to crawl on the ground, but then the Holy Spirit says, yes, sir. Yeah, but now what? I am above. It is no longer I that live, but it's the Christ that lives in me. So I am new. I don't even know who you're talking about. I mean, I do, but that ain't me no more. You know, so when we come from those places of brokenness, and as we said on shows before, that don't be ashamed of your broken places. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, because everybody has come from somewhere. That's how people will see the transition, the transformation. When you say, yeah, I was on crack, or I used to run with men, women, cats, and dogs, and now I have a husband. We have a beautiful life. I ain't say perfect. I said a beautiful life. We serve God, and God has blessed us. Yeah, but we have to tell people, we have to share and let them know, because people are hurting. They tired of hearing and seeing a bunch of, oh, well, she ain't never been through nothing, he ain't never been through nothing, because we're either too ashamed to share where God has brought us from. How will people know that God is a restorer? He is a healer. He is a deliverer. They ain't gonna know it. You tell them to read the Bible. They may say, whatever, yeah, I'm reading it, but I want to see it. You are the it that they see, that he's a healer, a redeemer, a deliverer, a healer, a restorer. Yeah, because trust me, when that saying say, I don't look like, thank God I don't look like what I used to be and do. I only have one child when I could have a whole bunch of them. I don't have no diseases running rampant throughout my body. Okay. Everything is still pretty much in one piece and working. I am literally in my right mind, not on any medication for mental disorders or mental diseases. That's only God. Only God.
Hello.
So, yeah.
And
I
with that
am.
being said, you guys, we thank you guys for tuning in with us. We thank you guys for
Yes.
loving on us. We thank you,
Yes.
Lady Rachael, for finally sharing your testimony with us
Yes. Just have to give
and
y'all a little
opening up
snippet.
with us. We thank you so much. What you gave us was truth and realness. And we just ask God to bless you, continue to bless you, and to bless your family, because that testimony right there was fire. I don't know how nobody else felt, but that was fire. Being the part that got me when you said you were angry from the womb, I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah.
And your mother, for her to say she felt that.
Yeah.
But us also kind of being a mother, she understood where that was coming from anyway. So
Yeah.
that right there, that was woo. And then your
Yeah.
dad, for your dad to, even though, like you said, he had his quirks and his brokenness, but the fact that in that moment when he said what he said to you, he was still fathering you,
Yeah.
and he was still giving you
Absolutely.
love. That right
Absolutely.
there, that touched me. That was powerful, because again, and we'll talk about it later on in another time, but there ain't no rule book to parenting.
Mm-mm.
Ain't no when you become parent, no matter what age you is, whether you're young and immature and not ready, where you think you're an adult with a career and got everything figured out, you are never fully prepared to take on the responsibility of another life. I'm telling you, no matter where, I done seen it all in different stages where people thought they had it off, and somewhere something is going to slip through the cracks. But you are only allowed to give what you could give as a parent, and you just pray over your kids and you pray to God that what you're giving and what he's given in you is enough. But anywho, we just thank you guys for tuning in to us on this Saturday afternoon. We love you guys. Check us
And
out on our.
before we leave, I'm just going to share this one little bit, you guys, about compassion. I mean, about brokenness and what it births. And it says here it births compassion, because in order to go out and reach the people, we have to have compassion. So when you come from a place of brokenness, it said compassion asks us to go where it hurts, to enter into places of pain, to share in brokenness, fear, confusion, and anguish. Compassion challenges us to cry out with those in misery, to mourn with those who are lonely, to weep with those in tears. Compassion requires us to be weak with the weak, vulnerable with the vulnerable, and powerless with the powerless. Compassion means full immersion in the condition of being human. So the times of brokenness keeps you. So what I went through will help me to look at a young lady that's loud and crude and rude and have compassion on her. It will help me look at a young lady. I'm like, why are you still dealing with that dude and he's just using to abuse your body? And God will remind me to remember when you have compassion and you can get in there and pray with them and love on them.
That's when grace come in.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, indeed, y'all, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. I just gave you a little snippet because it ain't about my life. It's about his life always. But I pray that something that we said or that you heard, that you took something away, that know that no matter what the condition that you were born in, hear what I'm saying. You're seeing me, are you hearing me? You don't have to stay in that condition. And God desires for you to be like the butterfly, beautiful and free. That is his desire for your life, to be beautiful and to be free. And hey, with that being said, we love you with the love of God. We thank you for tuning in, Catching Singers with a Testimony, every Saturday, 1 p.m. at the Tea House, the BPG Tea House, at the BPG Inspirational Station.com, where we love you guys for free, because freely it was given and freely we give. So with that being said, we love you guys. Enjoy y'all Saturday afternoon. And hey, catch us next Saturday. We'll be here. You might get the replay because, hey, we want to make sure everybody gets a sip of this teacup. But we love y'all. Peace And we out.